another beer review. This is actually going to be the most recent review you've seen. That last video I shot has been in my phone for what feels like over a year, and I'm going to try not to be so long-winded like I'm known to be if you've watched the channel for a while. Sorry, my head's cut off up here. Got a strange background. I'm about to move, so I don't have the gear I have. I don't have a proper setup. But I'll just try to make a quick and dirty review here now that I feel like my channel, for some reason, wants to start uploading videos again. So maybe I can start casually pumping stuff out. And the plan is I graduate school in December. I'll finally be done with that part of my life, and I will have more time to hit the ground running with beer. So this caught my eye, Glutenburg IPA. It's a gluten-free craft brewery out of Canada. It says Glutenburg, California. I watched some reviews because I have, brewed and canned out of Montreal, Canada. Montreal, Quebec, excuse me. And then it's imported by Total Beverage Solution out of Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. I have to say, I commend these guys. I know Bud Light does this as a gimmick. And I know none of us really care. If we cared, we probably wouldn't buy craft beer. But I commend these guys. They put their ingredients on the can. And the ingredients are why I even picked up the beer in the first place. Water, millet, buckwheat, corn, sugars, maltodextrin, hops, and yeast. I've never brewed beer, but I've cracked open my everything you need to brew the first time and the Complete Joy to Home Brewing, those two books. And I know maltodextrin is not like some weird chemical preservative thing. I don't know much about it, but yeah. I'm guessing sugars come from the millet and buckwheat during the mashing. And then that's called maltodextrin. That's the scientific name for it. So yeah, that's all it really means. And again, this is supposed to be a gluten-free beer. So all of you gluten intolerant people, this might be the IPA for you. Got a sample glass. Hopefully I can get a nice pour out of this sample glass. Okay, we got a little head, a little half finger ahead. Got a little half finger ahead. It's got a lot of fragrance. Now I have allergies. I've tried to relieve them prior to making this video. My nose is stuffed up, so hopefully I have enough ability to sniff this in accurate capacity. Very light fragrance. Almost smells like champagne. There's almost like a grapiness to it. I don't know what hops they use. No, I wouldn't say grapes now that I'm really getting into it. They don't disclose the hops they use. That's fine. We don't need to look at the hop varieties. Yeah, very subtle grassiness. The whole thing is just light, airy, fluffy. This isn't an IPA, or an IPA, it is an IPA. This isn't like an Imperial IPA. It's not really like, I mean, it's from Canada, so it's not one of these hyper local American craft IPAs. It's not a dank West Coast IPA. You know, it's none of these things. Dessert IPAs. It doesn't, well, I don't know, it's kind of playing on me. It does have this Nelson Sauvignon hops vibe to it, and maybe they use Nelson Sauvignon. Probably pretty sure they don't, because I don't have that kind of nose. There's no way I can guess the specific hop varieties. Just something light and champagne, white wine-ish about this IPA. It could also be, I got this in the singles rack at one of my beer spots, and IPAs on room temperature racks over time, you know, the hops are going to die off. They're, you know, and then by nature, I don't think this beer was supposed to be robust anyways. So they didn't use malt, they used millet and buckwheat, and I'm not familiar with either. I don't think I smell the corn for real. It's just so light and airy, it's hard for me to distinguish on the grains side of things. Yeah, let's get into the palate. The hops are more prevalent here, and the hops kind of ride it out. It's definitely not a violent trip by any means. It's interesting. I can definitely tell they're not using barley malt. It's a light, fluffy, airy beer, but I don't get that crackery maltiness. And again, I don't know if I've ever had anything with buckwheat and millet in it. I don't taste that grapiness as much. Probably not Nelson Sauvin. I think just the nature of the beer. Possibly my mind. I've been thinking a lot about a specific beer that is not this beer. That tastes like a white wine. And then I've been thinking a lot about Nelson Sauvin anyways. I don't know why. I've just been thinking about that kind of beer and how much fun it would be to create that beer. So it's been on my mind, and I'm just, who knows if my brain's trying to just trigger those senses. Almost non-existent carbonation, but it is there. I think it perfectly complements it accentuates the flavor profile. It's delicate, light. There's this white wine, champagne vibe going on here. And it has that just very light, carbonated, I don't know what a good word, a good descriptor would be. Yeah, almost non-existent, but just enough there. I didn't even cover the appearance. I just got straight into the palate, you know. I'm just trying to do a quick and dirty one. I'm almost at 10 minutes. I'm trying to be quick and dirty. They got some cold chill here. Yeah, there's some cold haze in here. I put this in the freezer to bring it down from room temp. It's hard to judge if it didn't have the cold chill in it. I don't want to say it's like crystal clear because it's not. But it's hard to say how much clearer it would be without this chill haze. I would say a fairly clear beer. And then it's got, as you can see on camera, I think the camera darkens it just a little bit more. But it's got a very light, pale. It's got a very light, pale color. I guess that's what I was going for. I still have a routine with this. Yeah, again, there's that champagne white wine quality with the hops take just a minute to build up, but then they just ride through. And then, and the finish, I don't know the alcohol content, but it doesn't feel very astringent. 6% standard ABV. What else could I add? This would be comparable to me. I know brooded beers are kind of dead, but it would the finish. We were on the finish, so let me backtrack. Let me pause on the comparison. It's a very drying beer. Very drying beer. Some people may like. Makes you want to go back for another sip because it's drying. Some people don't like it. But yeah, I would compare this to like a fruited pale ale. It's almost not even an IPA to me. And I don't know what factors the... I know that corn's going to lighten it up a little bit. And I don't know what factors that buckwheat and millet are playing in this beer. I would recommend this to anyone from people. Well, I don't know how this compares to low-calorie craft beer. But if you're wanting a beer that packs a punch but isn't like a heavy stout, maybe you're watching your weight. I don't know. Maybe this could fit into that category. Again, I don't know. It's 320 calories. I don't know how that is relative to other low-calorie, beers that are supposed to be low-calorie. But I feel like it could fit that market. I would also recommend this to people who prefer white wine and champagne. If you like pale ales, if you were a fan of that brooded movement where we were brooding IPAs a lot, seemed like that was 2 years ago, a year or 2 years ago. Yeah, this is a very nice, friendly beer. Not aggressive. The hops are not violent at all. This holds your hand the whole way down. I just wanted to try it for the simple fact of saying I've had a beer with millet and buckwheat in it, and now I have. And I would walk away from this beer giving it... I give it a 3.25 out of 5. That's a B minus, leaning towards a B grade. I don't love this beer. There's not much going on. But what is here, it all works together. It all makes sense. I understand what's going on in this beer. It's a pleasant little sipper. You could use this as an all-day drinker, or you could use this with a meal if you wanted. I mean, it's a real versatile beer, and at 6%, you're not going to get smashed having a 6-pack, over the course of the day or something. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. I went 15 minutes. I get so long-winded, and I'm going to try to casually put out content. it's just not going to be as much as I would like until after the 2021 holiday season. Thanks for watching. If you watched, until next time, guys. Glutenburg IPA, 3.25 out of 5. Until next time, guys. Cheers.